This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Regina League.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast. I'm super excited today to talk with Dr. Natalie McShane. Hi, Dr. McShane, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I know you must be on cloud nine because you recently opened Eastside Animal Hospital here in Charlotte. And just from reading a little bit about you and that, you created your dream practice. But before we go into that, tell us a little bit about you.
So I am from right outside of New York City, and I'm a bit different than the usual veterinarian who knew they wanted to be a vet since they were little. I had always loved animals, but my dream, going to college outside of New York City was to be a lawyer. I was in my junior year of college taking the LSATs, and I got a part-time job at an animal hospital, and that was it from there. It was ran by a powerful woman, amazing woman, and she took me under her wing and said, go for it. And I did.
That's amazing. So did your parents go, okay, what?
Yeah, my mom and dad were like, so you were a business major getting ready for law school. So, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go back and take all of my credits in 1 year and then go to vet school. And my mom's like,
just.
Yeah. And so I took all my sciences at 4 different colleges at in the metro area of New York City in 1 year. And then I was in vet school 1 year after I graduated college.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, yeah. That sounds like that woman made quite an impact on you, being a strong female. Did she run a private practice like you?
She did. And before she became a veterinarian, she was a bonds trader in New York City. So it was just the perfect mentor.
Yeah, your parents can blame her.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. So now, you go to school. Take us through the journey of getting here to Charlotte and then deciding to open, to have a privately owned veterinarian hospital is pretty amazing. So walk us through that a bit.
So I graduated vet school. I was living in Raleigh because I did my clinical rotations at NC State. And I was there for a couple of years and then decided I wanted something a little bit more city-like. Moved to Charlotte, worked in private practice. I worked in a corporate practice my first year out. I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do, so went back into private. Worked for a few different private practices and had a lot of great successes and experiences, and had always had the dream of owning my own practice from my mentor. And at the 10-year mark of being a veterinarian, my husband, who's an entrepreneur, was like, I think it's time. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah.
Wow.
And I had a near-death experience. So that pushed me to be like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. This is it. Life is short. And here we are.
Here. Do you want to share that?
Yeah. So I had my second child in March of 2023. And my C-section incision at 4 days post-op completely opened at home. And my entire small intestine.
If you could see my face, I'm like, I didn't even know that.
You can see everybody's face. And so that was, emergency surgery. And then I was in the hospital for almost 10 days with preeclampsia because of all the procedures. And so I was very lucky, and it put a new take on life, and, life is short. And so, yeah.
Wow. So here you are with your dream practice, Eastside Animal Hospital. Let's now talk about, what sets you apart as a veterinarian and this practice to others.
So this practice is my baby, and our clients and patients are like family here. So I'm lucky that I have a bunch of clients who have followed me from the practices I've been at, that I've known for over 10 years, 10 years plus. And we really care, and we spend the time with people. So people are not just another number to us. We care. We know them. We know their pets. We take the time, and we're very low stress. So we do a lot of treats, a lot of pets, a lot of toys, things like that to get them comfortable.
Oh, I love that. Low stress handling I saw on your website. I think
Yeah.
is it the parents that are more stressed typically than the animal that causes the stress?
Yeah, and sometimes, and that's why we take kind of our time with them, and we don't just, take their dog to the back and do everything. We try to do vaccines in the room with the owner. We try to kind of show them what we're doing. We try to do minimal handling. We had a dog the other day, very nervous for nail trims, and we were able to trim his nails with like just massaging his head and giving him some spray cheese.
Oh, hey, that would work for you. I love that. So you treat dogs and cats only, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
So what are the services? Because I think one misconception I had prior to speaking with you is because it's called Eastside Animal Hospital. I was thinking more in terms of urgent things, but now I know you do everything. You are the veterinarian day in, day out for these dogs and cats.
Yes, so I think a lot of people think with humans, yes, hospital, but we do everything. So we do wellness, vaccines, ear infections, sick visits, urgent visits. We even do surgeries, so spays, neuters, dentals, extractions. We have in-house lab work. We send out lab work as well, and we have x-rays, dental x-rays, ultrasound. We got it all.
And do you have pets at home?
Yes, I have 3 dogs.
Did you rescue? I mean, how did that come to be? I would think you'd be exhausted. And 2 children, by the way?
Yes, and 2 toddlers. Yes, we rescued all 3 of our dogs. I collected them through different jobs, that came in through rescues. And yeah, they're great.
I love that. Are there any misconceptions in your industry that you would want to talk about?
I think there are misconceptions about that we're, in it for the money, and that's not true at all. We of course have to make a living, but the people who do this are committed to these animals, and a lot of the time there's a lot of emotional things that happen behind the scenes. We care that much that we'll cry after euthanasia, about your pet. Yeah, so we take a lot of this home with us, and I do think the other misconception is that a lot of hospitals are now owned by corporations or private equity firms, and even if they are, have a different name, people just are not aware yet. So
Yeah, and the different, like when you can spend 30, 45 minutes with a family and their pet, that's a significant difference right there.
yeah, and you have boots on the ground. This is my practice. This is my whole life, and so I want to make sure we're doing everything 100% the best we can and taking the best care of these pets. So that's also another difference. There's more personal connection.
What are you most proud of?
My children.
Aw, that's awesome. How old are they?
3 and 1.
My goodness. Well, so last year was rather busy. You had a child, you had a near death experience, and you opened this veterinary hospital. My
Yes.
goodness.
All in a day's work.
Yeah, very ambitious. That's insane. Well, you're amazing. I think your website is stunning. It gives everybody a true visual to the kindness and what you guys do and offer. So, congratulations on just making that incredibly easy to navigate through. Why don't you tell our listeners how to find you guys, your location and phone number?
So we are located on Old Post Road off of Monroe Road. We're actually next to OMG Donuts, which is the best donut shop ever, and Edge City Brewery. And our website is eastsideahclt.com. And our Instagram is actually really good. My assistants do a great job on there, and that's eastsideah.clt. We have some very educational and very funny things as well.
How fun. How fun. So when you're not doing all of this, do you have time? What else do you do in your life?
Peloton.
Oh, morning or evening?
Anytime I can get it in. I have the tread and the bike, and I exercise is my go-to. I'm a member of Anytime Fitness in Oakhurst, so I sometimes you'll catch me over there.
You've got some real energy, woman. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
It's just amazing what you've accomplished. What a year. And I can just tell by the joy in your face, you love what you do, and that your pet families love you as well. So really appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpsouthcharlotte.com. That's gnpsouthcharlotte.com or call 980-351-5719.